Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday morning edition of Fantasy, where we are talking about all the injuries that are up this week, everything that you need to know to dominate your matchup. So far, looking good for me today. I'm going against Jaylen Warren, who was ruled out at 4 a.m. Pacific time this morning. My opponent did not see that, had him in his starting lineup, so I am feeling good. He also benched Marvin Harrison, who had a nice week. He is starting somebody else that I will not discuss in case he is watching this. But I am pretty psyched about that matchup. Hopefully you are not somebody who started Jaylen Warren. Hopefully you took a look at that and made another decision. DK Metcalf having a good game. Justin Jefferson looks to be back right now. So pretty fun game here in Dublin. I'm watching it here on the side as I'm speaking to you all. But let's get right into it. First off, Commanders at Falcons. Jaden Daniels, unfortunately, is ruled out again from his knee sprain suffered on Thursday Night Football in Week 2. Marcus Mariota is not a bad streaming option here. This knee thing is just so there's two philosophies that I like to keep in fantasy football, and that is that the number one scorer at wide receiver and running back will not repeat. And it's for whatever reason. We're looking at Jamar Chase. It's not to any fault of his own, but it's Joe Burrow's injury. It just happens. And then the quarterback sophomore slump. We saw it with CJ Stroud last year, and we're seeing it with Jaden Daniels right now. And it just happens. In this instance, it's not really to any fault of his own. The knee injuries there. This could be a lingering thing all season. Could affect his play. But for right now, right here, Week 4. Jaden Daniels is ruled out, so make sure you have some options there. Bill Krosky-Merritt also popped up with a knee on Wednesday. He missed practice on Thursday as well. However, he will be playing. Do what you want with that backfield. You've got Jeremy McNichols. You've got Chris Rodriguez. It will be a committee of some sort. We are all, as fantasy fans, hoping that Bill Krosky-Merritt is the guy, hoping he can be the one to emerge in this backfield. But from everything we have seen so far, especially since the Austin Eckler injury, this is a definition backfield by committee. Terry McLaurin also suffered a quad injury in Week 3. And listen, IR was discussed. They ultimately made the decision to not put him on IR. It was discussed. And this is worrying because at 30 years old, having sat out all training camp with the contract dispute, we saw Brandon Ayuk last year with the contract dispute, sitting out training camp, ended up in a lower body injury. These things happen. This is another fantasy philosophy to maybe cling to, is these holdouts, they don't end well. They very, very rarely end well. So he has got a quad injury. Looks like it will be a multiple week injury. As I said, IR was discussed. So Terry McLaurin's out. Hopefully you have other options there. Debo, probably a great start today. Debo's looked good in that offense. Debo just looks good. He looks spry. He looks fast. So with no Terry McLaurin, no Jaden Daniels, Bill Krosky-Merritt had a little thing. I think Debo's a smash start for the Commanders against the Falcons. And then on the Falcons side, Michael Penix is healthy. I don't know if you want to start him, but only injury designation here. Kyle Pitts was limited with a toe. He will play. So if you want to start Kyle Pitts, or if you have to start Kyle Pitts, I'm sorry. But go ahead and start Kyle Pitts. All right, Saints at Bills. Pretty clean designation here. Nothing of note. The Bills pass catchers, though, there's not really a standout here. We thought it was going to be Keon Coleman, especially after Week 1. But if you looked more closely at that, a lot of Keon Coleman's production came in that second half, or not even the second half, in the fourth quarter, when the Bills were doing everything they could to come back. And the touchdown that he caught was bobbled off of another receiver's hands into his hands. So Keon Coleman has not been a huge part of the game plan. He's not been a huge part of the offense. So we wanted him to pop this year. It can still happen, but Keon Coleman is not a smash. He's not the smash start that we hoped he would be at this point in the season. Khalil Shakir also. I don't think he's going to have a repeat of the year he did last year, being the bona fide number one guy in that offense. And then Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid has put up some good weeks so far. The thing that worries me is the snap share. So taking a look here, week 1, he had 51% of the snap share, week 2, 48%, and week 3, 55%. So not a huge snap share, not what you want to see from a tight end that you're starting. You want to start a tight end that's out there for most of the offensive sets. And then targets he's not blowing the roof off with targets. He had 4 in week 1, 6 in week 2, 6 in week 3. Not bad for a tight end. He's got 2 touchdowns. But Dalton Kincaid, I'm a Dalton Kincaid guy myself. I like Dalton Kincaid. I really hope that he emerges as the number one pass catcher in this offense. But maybe this offense just isn't suited for a number one pass catcher. So do what you will with Dalton Kincaid. As far as injuries go in this game, Saints at Bills, no injuries. So start who you have to here. Browns at Lions, nothing of note here. Quinshon Judkins is the lead back, in case you didn't know. He played around 50% of the snaps, but he dominated about 95% of the carries. He had, I believe, 18 or 19 carries to, I forget the other rookie running back's name, probably for a reason. He only had 1 carry last week. Quinshon Judkins is the running back in the Browns backfield. On the flip side, at the Lions, nothing of note here. Some people want to be a little cautious, though, with this Browns defense. Maybe you don't smash the start button on David Montgomery after the huge week he had against the Ravens. Could be a different story this week against the Browns. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a start no matter what. And then from the Browns, man, talk about a disappointment with Jerry Jeudy. This is something that I saw coming. Jerry Jeudy owe that a lot to Jameis Winston, just chucking the ball all over the field last year. Jerry Jeudy, not the same player as far as fantasy goes this year. Got a question here, JCM or Pollard? We'll talk a little bit about the Titans later. So it's Titans at Texans and then Commanders at Falcons. Listen, Pollard's going to get the carries. JCM, I don't think he's not there yet. This is still a committee. They want it to be a committee. They traded Brian Robinson and then still spread the ball all over the backfield. It is not JCM's backfield yet. JCM being Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt. Tony Pollard is the guy. Tyjae Spears. Actually, let me check. Is Tyjae Spears back? That is a name that I have not seen in my notes. Let me check that. Tyjae Spears. He's still on the IR. Designated for return. Oh, no. That was there's no update on Tyjae Spears. So Tyjae Spears is still out. Tony Pollard. I'm starting Tony Pollard over JCM. Just to answer your question there. Okay, so we just talked Browns at Lions. So Panthers at Patriots. Chuba Hubbard was listed as questionable with a calf. He is expected to play, per Panthers beat reporter. Ted McMillan also had a calf. He is expected to play. But Ted McMillan is my bold sit today. Christian Gonzalez is set to make his season debut for the Patriots. And Christian Gonzalez is the type of player that can take a receiver out of a game. And corners like that love to see a star rookie receiver on the other side. Christian Gonzalez, I believe, is going to shadow him this game. I think very real possibility that Ted McMillan is completely taken out of this game. He is my bold sit for this week. Ted McMillan is going against Christian Gonzalez and the Patriots. And then on the Pats side, everything looks clean there. No injuries. Travion Henderson, I'm looking for a big week this week. We had the 3 fumbles between Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson last week. Vrabel came out and said there will be no punishment no punishment for Ramondre Stevenson. I don't believe that. So we always see two fumbles in a game. We always see some repercussions after that. I think this is going to be a big week for Travion Henderson. And then as far as the pass catchers go, apparently this is Hunter Henry's room. Hunter Henry had a great week last week. I feel like we always talk about that this time of the year. But Hunter Henry last week, 81% snap share, 11 targets, 8 catches, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he is clearly the red zone target. 11 targets for a tight end is fantastic. He finished with 29 full PPR points last week. So, guys, Hunter Henry, not telling you to start him, but let's monitor Hunter Henry, see how those numbers continue, see if the targets share stays up. But Hunter Henry was a smash play last week, so he should be rostered. Right now, he is rostered in 68% of leagues, so it looks like a lot of people did respond to that last week. All right, Chargers at Giants. Najee Harris done for the year. So Omarion Hampton looks to have the backfield to himself, we would assume. There's been a lot of talk that it will still be a committee. Hassan Haskins is the next man up. And then Kimani Vidal, remember that name? He has been activated from the practice squad, looks to serve primarily as a backup. This week, though, I'm not picking up either one of them. I will leave that to the waiver wire, unless you've got an obvious spot that you can grab one of them and look to see what they do. That being Hassan Haskins or Kimani Vidal. But let's see if this really is a committee. Let's see if Omarion Hampton has like 85% of the snaps. So if you have any stake in Omarion Hampton, or if you had Najee, or if you're looking to pick up one of these guys, pay close attention to this game. Pay close attention to the snap share. Pay attention to who's out there between Hassan Haskins, or Kimani Vidal. And then we'll make that decision next week as far as the waiver wire goes. And then I want to talk a little bit about the pass catchers for the Chargers. So that being Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, and everybody's favorite bust, Quentin Johnston. So a lot of talk about Ladd McConkey being a bust this year. Him ending up a late second round pick, early third round pick in most drafts this year. I took a look at the numbers. So Keenan Allen is playing just under 60% of the snaps. He had 62 in week 1, 55 week 2, 65 week 3. Putting up some great numbers, 10 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets. He's had a touchdown in every game. He's the only receiver in the NFL with over 50 yards and a touchdown in all 3 games. Is that sustainable at 33 years old? I do not think so. And at this snap share, I do not think so. Quentin Johnston, 82% of snaps, 76 and 87%. So he is out there in more sets than Keenan Allen, 7 targets, and 10 targets. And then he's got 3 touchdowns on the year. He's 24 years old. He's 6'2", 208 pounds. He looks great out there. Hopefully the drops are over. Do I think this is sustainable? Yes, I do. I do think this is sustainable for Quentin Johnston. I have changed my tune on this. Last week, we did a video on buying or selling. I said I was going to sell Quentin Johnston and said I was going to buy Keenan Allen. I would like to officially swap that. I am selling Keenan Allen and buying Quentin Johnston for the rest of the season. And then Ladd McConkey. He is still the lead receiver out there as far as sets. Last week, he played 93% of the snaps. Hold on Ladd McConkey. The production will come back. Ladd McConkey will be the wide receiver 1 for the Chargers. He's the best talent there. He had a phenomenal rookie season. Let's slow down, pump the brakes on Ladd McConkey. I think he is still the guy. I think he will still have a very, very good season. Maybe not a wide receiver 1 season as far as a fantasy standpoint, but I think he will still put up some good numbers and be a guy that you can start every week. So if you're worried about that, just start Ladd McConkey today. It's against the Giants. Don't overthink it. And then on the Giants side, ladies and gentlemen, it is Jackson Dart season. While I will not offer the advice for anyone to start him, make sure he is on a roster. Let me do a quick look here and see what he looks like as far as he is rostered in 35% of leagues. Look, this is fantasy football. We just don't know. Pick him up. If you've got a spot, pick him up and let's see if he's a star. If he's a star, he's a league winner. Or if he can just manage this offense with some amazing pass catchers. Let's just see 35% own. Guys, go get Jackson Dart. Let's just see what he can do. And then have a little patience. This is his first week. Chargers is not a great pull for your first NFL start. But let's just see what Jackson Dart can do. Make sure he's on a roster. And then Cam Scatterboo is set for the lead role as Tyrone Tracy has been ruled out with a shoulder. Tyrone Tracy looks to be out multiple weeks. So Cam Scatterboo will be getting the bulk of the carries. And then Malik Neighbors also had a shoulder this week. He is off the injury report and is all cleared to play. All right, Eagles at Bucks. So this is a flip of this same game last season. Last season when the Eagles played the Bucks, we were without A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown missed multiple weeks, and we were without Devontae Smith because Devontae Smith got absolutely lit up in the game the week before against the Saints. He got hit on a catch. He had a huge hit, had a concussion, and missed that game. The Bucks jumped out in the beginning, and the Eagles just could not come back. They pretty much bottled up Saquon, and then there was no pass catchers there besides Dallas Goedert, so kind of hard for the Eagles to come back in that one. On the flip side, this year, the Bucks, Baker pops up on the injury report this week with a right bicep injury. He is expected to play, but if you're a quarterback, a right-handed quarterback with a right bicep injury, could limit what he can do today. And then Mike Evans has been ruled out with that elusive hamstring. At 32 years old, hearing a hamstring from Mike Evans is it's very scary. A little bit later on, another 32-year-old receiver and his hamstring. But could this be the first sub 1,000-yard year for Mike Evans? I think so. I think with the emergence of Emeka Egbuka, I think with Chris Godwin, who I'm about to talk about, coming back today, he's expected to play much earlier than I thought he would return. I think this is going to be the first sub 1,000 year for Mike Evans, but incredible streak. Fantasy owners for Mike Evans. I remember I had Mike Evans his rookie year on my fantasy team, 1,000 yards every season. I'm talking as if it's already happened that he's not getting it this year, but doesn't look likely. Again, though, he is ruled out this week with his hamstring. He had the hamstring issues last year as well. So not fun for Mike Evans managers. And then, like I said a little bit earlier, Chris Godwin is expected to play coming back from the ankle. Was it the ankle ACL? I don't remember, man. That seems like so long ago. Chris Godwin, we saw the pictures of his swollen ankle this season, though, so that did not look pretty. He is back, though, and ready to play today against the Eagles. Titans at Texans. No injuries here at all. Just want to talk a little bit about the Titans pass catchers, though. Calvin Ridley has been a complete just no-show. But then Elik Iomanor looking like a solid rookie. He's played a little bit over 75% of the snaps this season so far. He's got 7 targets, 6 targets, 5 targets, 2 touchdowns. So he's a big guy, 6'2", 206. He is a little bit of that red zone target for the Titans. But the thing with the pass catchers is Cam Ward just hasn't played very well. Yes, he's looked from an NFL standpoint, he's looked like an NFL quarterback. He's looked like a solid, he can be their guy as long as he steadily improves. But he just hasn't played very well. So I am not freaking out on Calvin Ridley just yet, even though he had some of those awful drops in week 1. As far as the Titans pass catchers go, stand by. Let's see if Cam Ward can steadily improve over the season as he gets more comfortable with the playbook, as he gets more comfortable playing against NFL defenses. So stand by with the Titans pass catchers. And then the Texans, I want to talk a little bit about the running backs. Again, there's no injuries here, but Nick Chubb has been their guy. We have no word on if Joe Mixon is even in the building, but Nick Chubb has been the guy. Nick Chubb handling just over 50% of the snap share. But Woody Marks, week 1, 11% of snaps, week 2, 27% of snaps, and week 3, 48% of snaps. This is what you want to see from a rookie running back, especially somebody who was kind of under the radar. Maybe one of those late offseason sleeper names like Woody Marks. This is what you want to see. 48% of the snaps last week. He had 6 carries for 27 yards, so not blowing the roof off, but that steady increase in the snap share, that's what you want to see, especially when he's sharing the backfield with somebody like Nick Chubb, aged running back. He's had multiple injuries throughout his career. This is what you want to see from Woody Marks. So make sure Woody Marks is rostered, 37% rostered. Go grab him. Go grab him if you've got a spot. Grab Woody Marks, see if those numbers increase, and then we'll make our decisions from there. That is it for the morning slate here on the West Coast at 10 a.m. straight. 10 a.m. slate. Now to the afternoon slate, Colts at Rams. So I mentioned another 32-year-old receiver with a hamstring. That is the superstar wide receiver, Davante Adams. Only difference, though, he will be playing. So it's not a recurring thing like it is with Mike Evans. It seems like we've heard about Mike Evans and his hamstring for like the last 2 or 3 seasons. Davante Adams will play, though, and he is not expected to have any major restrictions. I think he's still going to be a huge part of this offense. Interesting stat I heard this week in the red zone. Puka Nacua has 1 target. Davante Adams is 8. Puka Nacua has never been that red zone guy in his short career with the Rams so far. Davante Adams, we know who he is in the red zone. So if you are a Davante Adams manager, start him this week. He's got no injury designation. He's got no restrictions. Sean McVay said that himself. I think Sean McVay even said, even if he did have some type of restrictions, this is Davante Adams, and he's not going to allow that. So if you are a Davante Adams manager, start him and expect him to be a big part of the offense this week. Jags at 49ers. Listen, BTJ, IDK. I don't know. What a sad start this has been for Brian Thomas Jr. We were very excited after that awesome season last year. Last year in PPR finished wide receiver 4 as a rookie. So far, he is wide receiver 55. The targets are still there. 7 targets week 1, 12 targets week 2, and 6 last week in week 3. That's only amounted to 1 catch, 4 catches, and 2 catches. So he's catching under 30 as a whole, under 30% of his targets. I don't know. It looks like a mind thing. This is just strange. Brian Thomas Jr., obviously, I am not selling. He is Brian Thomas Jr. He is one of the best talents for a young wide receiver in this league. Trevor Lawrence, to me, is just not it. We forget Brian Thomas Jr.'s breakout happened with Mac Jones last year. So take that as you will. Do with that what you will. But yeah, we got a question here from Hayland Yomps. Hey, man, any changes you would make to this lineup? I have Nix, Gibbs, Hampton, Wilson. I'm thinking that's Garrett Wilson, Drake London, Jalen Warren, Ricky Pearsall, and Emeka Egbuka starting. If you started Jalen Warren. Oh, no. Warren, that's Tyler Warren. That's tight end Tyler Warren. Thought that was Jalen Warren, who was ruled out earlier in this Dublin game. And then off the bench, he's got Justin Fields, Derrick Henry, Jacoby Myers, Matt Golden, and J.K. Dobbins. Well, obviously, the first thing that pops up is Derrick Henry. That is a bold sit, my friend. I understand it against the Chiefs. But listen, I don't think you bench Derrick Henry under any circumstances. Looking at this lineup, you've got Bo Nix. Bo Nix, Broncos are playing. Did I already talk Broncos? Where's the Broncos? I apologize. Broncos are playing the Bengals. Okay, so I get that. You've got 2 smash starts at quarterback for Monday night, and that being Bo Nix against the awful defense of the Bengals and Justin Fields against the awful everything of the Dolphins. So you've got both of those guys. Honestly, pick your poison there, Bo Nix or Justin Fields. I'd probably lean Bo Nix, even though it has not looked incredible this season. I'd lean Bo Nix over Justin Fields again, but they're both just smash starts. Justin Fields playing against the Dolphins, Bo Nix against the Bengals. I think the only thing you're hoping for is a shootout with the Broncos and Bengals. Hopefully that offense can pick it up. So yeah, I think Nix is good. And then Gibbs, smash start. Marion Hampton, absolute smash. Garrett Wilson, I am a Garrett Wilson guy this season, and going against the Dolphins. Yeah, I think you start Garrett Wilson. I think you start Drake London. You've got Tyler Warren. Dude, you got a nice team. And then I'm going to start Ricky Pearsall. I'm sorry. I'm going to start Derrick Henry over Ricky Pearsall and then keep Emeka Egbuka at that flex. But, dude, solid lineup. Great draft. Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm assuming, was your first-round pick. Drake London in the second. Or Derrick Henry in the second. Drake London in the third. What is this, a 16 league? Unless you pulled off a nice trade. But, yeah, I'd have nothing to worry about with this lineup. Only thing I would do, Derrick Henry over Ricky Pearsall. And 10-team league, dude. Nice. But yeah, I would start Derrick Henry over Ricky Pearsall. Look, if Ricky Pearsall goes off your bench, take the L. But benching Derrick Henry even against the Chiefs. I don't know. That's a bold move. Personally, I would start Derrick Henry because I would just hate to see him go off on my bench. Okay, thanks for the question. Back to the games. We were talking Jags and Niners. BTJ had a wrist, though. Aside from all his other struggles, he did have a little wrist thing this week. He is back. He will play. And then for the Niners, Brock Purdy is back. So if Brock Purdy is your guy, go ahead and start him this week. This Jags defense is surprisingly a pretty good defense, though. So a lot of us just kind of look at the Jags and just kind of throw them out of our mind. This is a good defense. So again, do with that what you will. One more question from Hayland Yomps. One more, my bad. Colts or Jets defense. We don't talk a ton of defense here on Fantasy, but let me do what let me cook. So Colts defense, Colts against the Rams or Jets, dude. Jets against the Dolphins. You're starting the Jets. You're not starting the Colts against that Rams. The Colts defense has been good this year, but the Dolphins, look, Tua turn a ball over. You want to start the defense playing against Tua. They looked decent against the Bills last week, but the Bills haven't stopped anybody this season. So this Jets defense, this is a good defense. I would start them against the Dolphins for sure. For sure. All right, almost done here. Ravens at Chiefs. Xavier Worthy's back. So what that means is hopefully the light show is on its way back. We have yet to really see full strength Chiefs being Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, along with obviously Travis Kelce. That running back room is just nothing this year. But Worthy is back today. Hopefully the light show is on its way back. I'm ready to see Rashee Rice. I'm ready to see second-year Xavier Worthy in this offense. I'm ready to see Patrick Mahomes absolutely light it up again. I've got a lot of Patrick Mahomes this season. He was a quarterback that was very easy to draft. In some leagues, he was sitting there in the 8th round. I had him sitting in the 8th round in a 12-team league. So I have a lot of Patrick Mahomes. I am really, really hoping the light show is on its way back. And that first step is Xavier Worthy coming back today. So again, nothing on the Ravens side. Chiefs side, Xavier Worthy is back. So I would look to start Xavier Worthy. This Ravens defense has been awful. It's been one of the worst in the league, bottom 3 at this point in the season. So yeah, I am starting Xavier Worthy. All right, last game for the afternoon slate: Bears at Raiders. Swift is in, Colston Loveland out, both with a hip designation. Colston Loveland hasn't been anybody you're wanting to start this season, so I don't think this affects anybody's lineup. I'm still holding Colston Loveland, and if he's on your roster, hold him, don't drop him. He's a rookie that they used real draft capital on. We saw this with Dalton Kincaid his rookie year. He did a lot of nothing his first couple games. I'll go ahead and pull him up real quick here. Did a lot of nothing his first couple games, and then finished off the season a pretty good. Yeah, so he single-digit fantasy points in his first 5 games. That's in full PPR. After that, Dalton Kincaid, again, this is his rookie season, comparing him to Colston Loveland, what we're hoping Colston Loveland can do. Dalton Kincaid after that 15, 17, 16, 16, 10. So finish off the season doing pretty well. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Colston Loveland here. I think it's going to show up. They drafted him for a reason. They want him to be a part of this offense. He's a great pass catching tight end. So Colston Loveland, again, out this week, but hold. And then the Raiders side, there are no designations there. Let's talk a little Ashton Genty, though. I saw the most interesting trade I've ever seen in a fantasy league. I got to share this with you guys. This is a dynasty league, it's kind of a hybrid dynasty league. We keep 8. So it really, you're making a lot of decisions all year, kind of looking at who your 8 keepers are. You're also making dynasty type decisions in this league. So the number 1 pick this year was in our dynasty draft was Ashton Genty, obviously. The owner in my league gave up on him after 3 weeks. He traded Ashton Genty and Terry McLaurin for RJ Harvey, Alec Iomanor, and Jared Goff. And the whole league stopped. I was picking up my kids from school. I'm FaceTiming other owners while I'm putting the stroller in the car, and we couldn't believe this. But people are giving up on Ashton Genty. And I know this offensive line is atrocious, but come on. I mean, he's do not give up on him just yet. If you want to bench him this week, by all means do it. By all means do it. I don't know if I'm benching him against Chicago. Chicago has, as I have said on a previous show, Chicago, their defense has been the fantasy football Viagra for most teams. Teams have been getting it right against Chicago. So I would not personally bench Ashton Genty today. If you bench him, though, I get it. It's been bad. The efficiency's been very, very bad. But look, I think they've just got to get it right. I trust Pete Carroll. I trust Chip Kelly to get him involved. He has had virtually nothing in the passing game. And I know that wasn't a big part of his game his last year in college. I took a look at the numbers, just pulling those up real quick. I took a look at the numbers last night for his college career. In his freshman season, 14 receptions, 155 yards in 14 games. So he had one catch in every game. His third and final year, 23 receptions, 138 yards, not blowing the roof off. But his second season, just going back, 43, and this is in 12 games, 43 receptions for 569 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. So he's proven that he can do it. They're just not using him in the passing offense. He's had 6 targets and 5 catches over 3 games so far. And that has resulted in a total of 3 yards. So he's just such a great talent. I am not giving up on Ashton Genty just yet. Man, I had some words for that manager in our league who traded him. Again, traded Ashton Genty and Terry McLaurin for RJ Harvey, Alec Iomanor, and Jared Goff. He is a Bronco fan, but dude, RJ Harvey's played like less than 30% of snaps. Sean Payton seems to hate who he drafts. And him being a Bronco fan should know that better than most about Sean Payton. That he's just a big weirdo and wants to be the star and wants to make the unexpected guy work. But that's my rant on Ashton Genty. I'm still a believer. So simple as that. All right. And then Sunday night, CeeDee Lamb's out. If you've been under a rock, CeeDee Lamb is out with the ankle. Could be multiple weeks. They did not put him on IR, but keep an eye on that. And then the 2 Monday night games, Justin Fields is back from the concussion. Smash start. That is a smash start against this Dolphins team. The Dolphins is just a train wreck, a circus. I think that is going to blow up at any point this season. I think Tyreek Hill's gone. I think the Chiefs might swing in and trade for Devon Achane. I myself, in that league I just mentioned, that dynasty hybrid keeper league, I traded away Devon Achane for 2 first-round picks and Michael Pittman. Because I just think it's just gonna be ugly for the Dolphins for the rest of the season. I am staying as far away from the Dolphins as I possibly can. Obviously, if you got Tyreek Hill, you're starting Tyreek Hill. If you got Devon Achane, you're starting Devon Achane. But Justin Fields, I think, is a smash start here against the Dolphins. He's back with a concussion. And then our final game of the week, Bengals at Broncos. Oh man, good luck if you're a Chase Brown. If you've drafted Chase Brown where you did and you didn't hit anywhere else and you have to start Chase Brown, you just have to do it. But he's been one of the worst running backs in the league so far. Somewhat to his fault, somewhat to the offensive line, and somewhat to Joe Burrow going down in week 2. But Evan Ingram is back. He had a back injury. He is back and playing this week. Supposed to be the joker in that offense, but we just talked about Sean Payton. Sean Payton does a lot of talking. Sean Payton's the joker in that offense. But Bengals at Broncos. Yeah, you're starting Jamar Chase. If you can afford it, you're benching T. Higgins. If you can afford it, if you have to start him, go ahead and start him. Don't start Trey Tucker over T. Higgins this week. But yeah, this Bengals team, hopefully Joe Burrow comes back. I do not think he's coming back this season. The fact that they immediately said 3 months, like we didn't even have like a diagnosis, and they're like, oh, he's coming back December 14th. What that tells me is that's best case scenario. The first thing that they say when it comes to injuries, the first thing, whatever they come out first on Twitter and say, that is best case scenario. That's the optimistic hope. That's what the agent, that's what Joe Burrow's agent said. Hey, this is what I want you to put out there. I don't think he's coming back this season. If Jake Browning can hold their head over water, maybe he gets back and for that late playoff push, but we'll see. That is it. Packed show, week 4, man. We got some injuries. This is the NFL. But that is it. That will do it. Guys, I mean, throw up any questions you want later on. If you're watching this video, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching this later on, throw up any questions. We will do our best to answer them. But will do it for week 4. Listen, I love doing this, man. I love talking fantasy. This is the best. This is what I live for. A lot of injuries this week. Hopefully we got you right. Hopefully we answered your questions well. But that'll do it. So we will see you on our next show where we will be live. I'm sorry, not live, but our flagship show every week, every Monday, discussing all the games. But happy Sunday, happy NFL, happy week 4. And we will see you later. Peace.